razor-quilled pufferfish was not a direct threat, but it steadfastly refused to move out of the way. A glowing swirl in the water tugged at Merrin's sob. Was this a time vortex? Where might it lead? At last, the Merrow Maiden stopped. Merrin called to her. "Please wait. I'm only trying to find my father." The Merrow looked at her for a long moment, then stirred the water with her hands, forming a ghostly image. It was the sunken ship graveyard known as Skeleton Reef. Could her father be trapped there? The Merrow pointed the way to go, and Merrin thanked her. Before she turned to go, Merrin asked the Merrow her name. "Call me Cara," she said. "Another girl once called me that, years ago. She said it means friend." She bought from the hermit crab, Merrin took out her tools and made a quick modification to her magnetic claw. To reach the lost graveyard of ships, Merrin would have to cross the foul and treacherous region known as Watcher's Hollow. This was a place her father had never sung about, for the tales of the Watcher were known only to those below. Swam through the dark caverns, heedless of their deadly surroundings. Maybe they were tougher than they looked. Even the stinging anemones seemed to avoid them. Beneath the waves shimmered with mystery. Glow-kilt bulbs lit up around her as she passed by. Erin spotted some odd-looking old coins. Maybe her father would know where they were from. Flickered and danced on the sea floor like an underwater fire. Her father once told her about a mysterious, living energy called time. Could that have been a time wellspring? Horse made of clockwork gears darted out of the way as Merrin approached. She wondered who could have built such a curious creature. Merrin approached a glowing scrap of metal and pulled it inside. It was claw-shaped and had a strong magnetic pull. She took out her tools and attached it to a firing mechanism on her steering column. spotted shock nettles ahead of her. She had to be cautious, as the hostile creatures would attack her on sight. Guardian blocked Merrin's path. She knew it all too well from her father's stories, and she knew it must never be woken. According to her father, the Guardians had been built by ancient undersea explorers called the Fomori. Merrin always thought the Fomori were a myth. Now she wondered if her father's other stories might be true. The old statue reminded her of her father's lullabies about the brave and beautiful Merrows. She sketched the terrain on a sheet of cartography paper. Her father had taught her that those who make maps are never lost. A huge hermit crab watched Merrin from a rocky ledge. On his back, he carried a vast array of odd-looking treasures. The crab seemed to like shiny objects. Maybe he would be willing to make a trade.